Welcome everybody to today's video. Let me get comfortable. You should get comfortable as well if you're going to listen to this whole thing. I don't know how long this is going to go. Again, my videos are not scripted. They just come from the heart, from my brain sometimes, and I just talk. Today what I want to talk about is sneakers and reselling. Okay, first, the reason this whole video came about was because February 5th, Nike is going to be dropping or re-releasing shoes that previously came out, I guess. We don't know which ones. We don't know any details. Basically, we don't even know when they're going to be dropping or what time, nothing like that. We just got to be ready, I guess, and we'll get alerted. If you're a Nike member, you know what I'm talking about. By the time this is up, I'm sure all the sneakers will probably be gone, but that's okay. So I was thinking and going through my history of purchasing sneakers in the last 4 to 5 years. And it's very slim, meaning that if I was on the app, I did not get a shoe. Basically, I tried and I did not get it. No big deal. That's fine. I get it. It's luck of the draw, apparently, but other people do win multiple times. I don't know. That's not me. If I showed you my sneakers app, it's very, very, there's probably like 3 or 4 shoes that I think I've actually won or gotten on that, which is another thing to me. You set up for a raffle to then buy a shoe, so you don't even win the shoe. A lot of people get excited because they get a chance to buy the shoe. Isn't that funny? You know, you're waiting for a draw. Usually when you draw something, you paid for it and you're going to win something more, but this time you're just in line to then purchase something. I guess it's funny to me, I guess. I don't know why, but it's just funny. So now you might be asking me or asking yourself, what makes me such a sneaker expert, or why can I talk about this? So my history with sneakers has been running through a very long time. My first pair of Jordans, I was in 2nd grade, and I did not have Jordans. All through elementary, through middle school, through high school. The only reason why I had a little break, actually, now that I think about it, I didn't even have a break because I went on through the 14, the 15, the 16, the 17. So even when Jordan retired for that little time before he came out with the Wizards, I still bought those Jordans. Not a lot of people did. I would buy them again if they came out, which they have released, but I just didn't pull the trigger because not money, or I wanted something else, just being honest. So yeah, I know my Jordans. I've had them all almost. And to me, that classifies me, I think, as a sneakerhead. There's a lot of people who never ever owned the originals. I know a lot of people that have never seen an original, and they're sneakerheads, or they claim to be sneakerheads, and that's okay. Sneakerhead isn't about the shoes that you have, how much they cost. A sneakerhead is just the love that you have for sneakers. Now, mind you, that's what I just said was the love that you have for sneakers. Doesn't count. You're not a sneakerhead if you buy shoes and resell them. That's just my opinion. That's a business person, I guess you could say. Doesn't really make you a sneakerhead. So that's kind of what my rant is about. I guess I stopped once high school was over with. Once Jordan officially retired, there was really no point in buying Jordans anymore. So I kind of went away from that. I stopped buying sneakers. I stopped worrying about what shoes I was wearing. I don't. Now that I'm looking back at it, I think I bought, in if I remember, a Jordan 1, and it was a low. It was all black with a little bit of red, and I wore that thing forever and everywhere. And I think that took me into like probably 4 years that I just wore that sneaker. Um, it was just black with a little bit of red. I figured it just went with everything, and I wore that very, very much. I think I passed that on to my dad. I don't know if he still has it. And then I got like some SBs, just all black shoe. I think that kind of took me for a few years as well. I was kind of going between those two, and I had some other shoes here and there, but nothing major. There was a big part of me that just back then I wasn't. I didn't have a smartphone. I didn't have the internet. I to be sincere, I left the shoe game once Jordan was done. I didn't know anything if they were still making Jordans, anything like that. I kind of, stopped paying attention to that stuff, a little bit. I mean, I still had love for shoes, obviously, the sneakers. I continued watching basketball, so when I'd see a player, having shoes, I was like, whoa, those are nice, But as far as going out and buying sneakers, I really, really didn't do that. Here and there, yeah, but nothing like what I have a wall built up. So my point is, I left the sneaker game. And when I started working for Nike, that's when I got back into it. Then I realized, oh, there's an app. I had a smartphone before I started working for Nike, but I didn't know about these apps. My apps that I had consisted of just necessity apps, or nothing of buying like it is now. Now everybody has food apps, sneaker apps, clothes apps, whatever. You get my picture. So I remember Bailey, the band, the Jordan 1 band, came out in 2016. I believe it was November. I think it was November. And the mall that I was at, not the Nike store because I work at an outlet, but the mall in my area was going to be releasing the shoes. And so I'm thinking, okay, there'll be a line, but nothing major. I'm going to get in line. I should be able to get a pair. And I had to, I remember they were going to open at 10. I think I had work at 11 or 12, something like that. So here I go, walking in, and I see the crowd of people in the line. I don't know how many pairs they had, but let's just say there was going to be a lot of people not with those shoes. So waiting in line, I don't know for what, waiting in line. Obviously, I'm looking, I'm like, I got to go. I'm going to be late to work. Obviously, took the L, whatever, moved on. I didn't think at first it didn't strike me as odd. I just figured, well, a lot of people like the shoes. I'm now realizing, after I do my research, and I realized that this was a common thing where people would camp out for shoes, that I never heard of that. I never knew that. Growing up, all I did was, oh, that's the new Jordan? Okay. Do you have my size? Okay. You don't? Let me go to the next town, or let me go to the next store. I always found the shoe, whether it was where I was at or had to go drive a little bit, but I always was able to get my shoe, my Jordan. I don't know if just because back then not a lot of people bought them, they made a lot of pairs, or I really don't understand why they're so limited now or hard to grab versus back then. Or maybe just people didn't really care about them that much back then. I mean, I would say that maybe, at least growing up, a lot of people just couldn't afford them, or their parents didn't want to get them for them. And I mean, I don't blame them. I was just, I guess, spoiled. Shout out to my mom, who's probably watching this. Um, so yeah, so basically, and then, as I realized more shoes were going to come out, I started doing more research. I started understanding what the sneaker culture had become, and it's totally different, totally different. These shoes, the Nike Yeezy right here, is going for like $5,000 or more. This red shoe right here, the Kanye West collaboration with Nike or whatever. If you know all what happened, that story, why he left, it's pretty funny if you ask me. Kind of bogus, but funny. Anyways, so but this is my thing. This shoe is worth $5,000. Worth. It was probably two something when it came out, 200 and some, which is still a very high price, to pay. But there's somebody that has these shoes that doesn't even care about sneakers, and they have them sitting there, and they're trying to sell them for $5,000. That is where I have a problem. That's where I have a huge problem. The resale thing. And I get it. It was fine with sneakers. If you want to do that, if you want to rob somebody of owning a shoe like myself, who really just wants a shoe. All the Kobe's, the Kobe Grinch, all those shoes coming out that, you want something because Kobe's no longer here. So you want that piece to own. You don't even get a chance to, because you're fighting people that, want to just have that shoe because they know what it's worth. They know what people are willing to pay for it. I'm not willing to pay those prices, resale prices, to anybody. I will not. And then with that, I think now, more than ever now, there's more fakes or UA, unauthorized. Authentic is what they call them, which is a bunch of BS where they say that the factories like Nike and Adidas, let's say they want 20,000 shoes, they'll make 50,000, and then 30,000, I guess, will be in case the ones that don't pass inspection. And so the ones that didn't pass inspection are given, or the people take them and then they turn around and sell them. I do not believe that, because we do get B grades, meaning that a B grade is, I make this shoe, I'm going to try to sell them both. They're supposed to be identical. They're supposed to be the exact same. They're not. This one is flawed. This one's perfect. This one goes to Nike, to Finish Line, to Foot Locker, wherever it needs to go. This one, then Nike decides what to do with it. They'll either sell them as B grades, sometimes at a reduced price, sometimes not. We've recently had Air Force Ones, the all white lows, and those are B grades. I don't know where you mess up an all white shoe, basic all white shoe, which is kind of funny. But people have noticed. People did notice. They would come, they'd buy it. I don't know if because the stamp on the box, they were paying full price for them and then trying to return them and trying to get a different pair, saying that, hey, there's something wrong with my pair. Duh. It's a B grade. We advertise it as such. You decided to buy it. You can either return it or we can get you something else, but they're always going to be, there's going to be something wrong with every single shoe. That's what we have to tell them. Obviously, we're not going to tell them it's an official one. So Nike does sell their B grades. So I don't understand, where people think that those are being given to, other people in China or whatever, and they're trying to sell them because, I just don't believe that. Let's just put it that way. I think Nike either recycles them now because they do have a program that they recycle, and, they use their shoes for something else, other stuff, which is a good thing. Do I care if someone wears fakes or UAs? I have no problem with that. If that's what you want to do, obviously, I would rather do that than pay this, although I just wouldn't do neither. But if I had to pick between paying $5,000 for a $200 shoe, which I already think is expensive, or rocking a fake, if I had to choose, if I didn't work for Nike, I would probably buy the fake if it passes. So now they're getting better at making these fakes. And I hear a YouTuber talk. He all he does is wear UAs, and that's fine if he wants to advertise it. He doesn't lie about it, but I'm pretty sure he's got his facts wrong, and he always talks about how they're getting better at making them. Well, you just said this guy has the one who's the one that said that they're B grades. They're not B grades. It's not the same thing. Someone that is selling it from a different factory that is a Nike versus a B grade is totally different. The B grade, again, is just the one that got rejected as not being sold as a perfect, pair. And yeah, some shoes do, I do receive my shoes and I inspect them and I see there's glue marks or something that bothers me. Oh, well, it happens. That's why you pay retail and don't go paying thousands of dollars, because if one person does it, that's all the market needs, for one person to do it. Everybody starts doing it. Somewhere along the lines, someone had a shoe and said, well, I will sell this for $1,000. Dunks go for 100 to 110, maybe 120, and they're going up for $600, $700, $800, $1,000. That is insane. That it needs to stop. It just needs to stop. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's people who are reselling or buying shoes just resell, or these are actually individuals that have a sneaker and they are sneakerheads and then say, no, I want to sell it. Obviously working for Nike, I could never do that. But I've never sold a sneaker. Never. Not a soccer shoe, not a sneaker. And this was even before my time with Nike. But yeah, so where I'm going with this is it's not only happening with sneakers now. It's not only sneakers. Now soccer shoes are showing up on StockX. They're showing up on GOAT. I actually bought one pair on GOAT, but it was way under retail. Again, because the demand, it's like if you let stuff sit, eventually that is going to go down, or someone's just going to decide that they just are willing to let it go for a cheaper price. So I feel us consumers, if we're, buying off of GOAT, buying off of StockX or buying off of eBay and stuff like that, it just gives them more reason to keep doing it. If we didn't do that so much, who knows? Who knows if these people would keep trying to do that. And I get it. If you want to sell shoes, do it a different way. Open up a sneaker shop. That's the way I see it. Open up a sneaker shop instead that's what I would like to do for myself, is open up my own shop. I don't think I'll do that. But that would be something that I would love to do. Be my own boss, but everything would be retail. Why do I need to get a shoe from Nike or get a whole bunch of shoes and then turn around and jack up the price on people? You know what I'm saying? That, to me, I don't understand that. But again, this is not just with sneakers anymore. It's everything. You can get, shirts, merchandise from rappers, from Kanye West to Travis Scott, to everything. Everything now is just all about just reselling, and people aren't doing it. It leaves the fun out for us people who really want to try to get something, and keep failing because there's too many other people just worrying about doing it for the money. And that's, to me, it's kind of a shame. I don't know how to stop it. I would wish Nike would just make more and see if that would happen, because if that would help it, because the Space Jam Jordan, I remember I had it in 2001, I believe. And It came out again in 2016. It might have come out in between somewhere there, but it came out again in 2016. And actually, the Nike Town in Chicago did not sell out. So that was one of the first, if not the only one, that wasn't like a return or anything like that. That was the first shoe that I could use my discount on, actually, because it was sat for X amount of days and it just didn't sell out. They had so many pairs. And I thought that was great, even if I would have paid retail price for that. But luckily I got to pay like $140 something with my discount. I still haven't worn them yet. I need to wear them. And then a whole bunch of those actually ended up in the outlets as B grades here in Orlando. And I got another pair, which is pretty good, you know. Now I could save my retail pair and, well, retail because I use discount, but then I could rock the B grade. Who cares? No one, I couldn't tell the difference. The only thing that was different, they came in a different box. But there was no difference looking at the shoe. I don't know where Nike thought that it wasn't, good enough. But they have their standards, and that's good. That shows that there are standards. So maybe some shoes, it's just hard to not make without glues or colors or stitching messed up, something like that, you know? But yeah, so it's just crazy. It's just everywhere now. I'm tired. I'm tired of taking L's. Sometimes I don't even want to try. I don't even want to try to get anything because it's just like, for what? For what? I can't remember the last time I saw this. My first ever win when I actually had the app and tried were the flu games in 2016. And I haven't won many drawings since then. My collection is based off of returns, or I got lucky, or someone else got them for me, and yeah, so it just kind of sucks. That's my little rant. I feel like we need to try to stop the resale business and the fake or UA business, because I feel like a lot of people, it's not because I don't want people wearing fakes, but you're paying almost the same price, I would say, that you're going to pay a company such as Nike or Adidas to get something that, now a lot of people say, yeah, but it looks the same. Remember, look means nothing if it's not, the quality is not there. Don't wear a shoe. There's Jordans or there's soccer cleats even that they make the fake, and you can literally fold them up and the toe can touch the heel. That, now it may look great, it may look amazing, but again, you're buying a shoe not just for the look. You actually have to wear that. You actually have to wear that shoe. Think about it. No one's going to buy a fake soccer shoe and think they can play in it. That's the problem. That's the problem that I have with fakes. Now, if they were made exactly the same and the same quality, go ahead and do it. But I guarantee all the soccer cleats that you see, those are garbage, and they won't even last you on the field. So there'd be no reason to buy those at all, other than you want to pay $100, $200, whatever, to just look at a shoe. That doesn't make sense. And I know for a fact that Jordans are like that as well. Not to the same quality, not to the same standards. So that's the reason that I say do not buy fakes. But if you can find a pair that is exactly the same, go ahead and do it. That's why lately I've been buying more Air Forces and Blazers and Chucks, my Converse, and that's basically what I wear now. I wear a couple of new, shoes for work, comfortable ones like PGs. But I stick with the old school stuff because it's always going to be available. I can get it for cheap. I ain't got to worry about resellers getting it. And you know what I'm saying? It's still fashionable. I still look good in what I'm wearing, So leave a comment below if you know a way. Well, leave a comment if you've bought UA shoes or fakes. And I hate to call them fakes because it's a real shoe. So a UA, are you just a reseller? Are you a bulk buyer even? Bulk buyers come in and buy us out, and that helps our business, but also hurts us. And it hurts people who are trying to get the shoe, So that kind of sucks. I want everybody to get the shoe. Yeah, so leave a comment or let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have a strategy. Are you okay with UAs? Are you okay with resellers? Just let me know your thoughts, man. I want to see what you guys think. But that was my rant for today. If you listen all the way, thank you guys. Give a like. If you're new, subscribe. This is going to be a lot about sneakers, some vlogs, and other stuff. So keep watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.